White and black both seem good. Blue seems weak, judging by this, but blue had some sick bombs. We'll see. Let's take a look at uptime. Let's do red in just a second. 528. Okay, let's get to it. Arclight Phoenix. 4 for a 3/2 flying haste. Beginning of each combat on your turns, if you cast 3 or more instant and sorcery spells this return Arclight Phoenix from your graveyard to the battlefield. I think that's still a good pick just because it's a 3/2 flying haste for 4. I don't think you're ever going to trigger its effect in limited. But I think a 3/2 flying haste creature is pretty good in a red aggro deck. It basically represents a evasive finisher, or just evasive, hasted damage dealer. Card's good, but I don't think you're going to see it ever come back. Barging Sergeant, 5 for a 4/2 haste mentor. Card's good. Fucking surprise mentors are not something you want to be, your opponent's going to be able to deal with very well. 4/2 are not great stats. But even if he just, you just cast him and he slams into something and trades down for like a 3/3 or even a 2/2, and he gives out 3+1/1 counters on you, card's going to be good. So is red-white going to be about mentoring? I'm not first drafting this card, but I'm not sad to see it. Book Devourer, 6 for a 4/5. He doesn't need to read. Trample. Whenever Book Devourer deals combat damage to a player, you may discard all the cards. You may discard all the cards in your hand. If you do, draw that many cards. 6 for a 4/5 Trampler. That's not super unreasonable stat-wise. It's like a bad Partick Wanderer. And whenever it deals damage, you can cycle cards. The effect is pretty strong, especially on a Trampler. You have to discard everything, though. I think it's okay. I don't love it. I'd play it probably from time to time. I think it's good. Not good, but good strong. I think it's okay. I think it's playable. I think you'll see that play, and I think it'll be annoying. All right, you're using it to cycle lands, really. Or cycle dead cards for other reasons. You're probably never doing more than cycling once or twice, right? All right, Command the Storm. 5 for an instant, deals 5 damage to target creature. That is like a massively better fight. I was gonna say fight with fire, but it's not. It's not the one I'm looking for. It's a massively better fiery intervention. Anything at instant speed that's removal for 5 damage is gonna be great. Command the Storm seems very solid. You should draft the hell out of that. It's gonna be amazing. All right, Cosmotronic Wave. 4 for a sorcery, deals 1 damage to each creature your opponent controls. Creatures your opponent controls can't block this turn. Screw that card. So it's like the new fucking Seismic Shift, except it doesn't do kill your lands. It sometimes kills your creatures. I think it's probably worse than Seismic Shift. It's still preventing blockers, which is really the primary source of that. And occasionally it will do 1 damage. It's like a combination Radiated Lightning Seismic Shift. It's going to be a great sideboard card versus 1/1 token generation decks. And that's about it. So not super excited about that. Direct Current. 2 red, 1 other. Deals 2 damage to any target, and you can jumpstart it. Card's definitely playable. Is even good, I'd say. Removal that recurs for land discards seem pretty good to me. Depends again how good 2 damage is. I've been paying some attention, but not massive amounts of attention. I think 2 damage is probably good enough. I've seen a number of solid 3/2s. This is probably still going to see stuff late game, and you can always go face with it. And it just says 2 damage to any target. I just noticed that. Yeah, this card's good. I think I'd draft that from time to time. I don't think it's amazing. It's more along the lines of a combat trick than it is pure removal. But I think it's good enough. Good enough to play pretty regularly. Electrostatic Field. 2 for a 0/4 defender. When you cast an instant or sorcery spell, it does 1 damage to each opponent. I don't think that's limited. I don't think you're going to have enough instants or sorceries to use this in limited. But a 0/4 wall for 2 that does something useful to red is kind of nice. It's like a Gutter Snipe, except it does less damage and has better, well, not better stats. I mean, different stats. 2 for 0/4 as opposed to 3 for 2/2. I don't think it's playable, but I think you might get some weird decks that use it. I don't think it's generally playable. Erratic Cyclops. 4 for a 0/8. It tramples. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, it gets +X/+0, where X is the spell's converted mana cost. That's not playable in limited. You're going to be pretty pissed when you open this as a rare. Unless I see like a bunch more sorceries or instants that you can play. I mean, you're gonna be playing against opponents playing Cosmotronic Wave and Erratic Cyclops. This card's bad. This card's so bad. I mean, 0-8 is unkillable. I mean, I say that. I look at that. 0-8's fucking unkillable. It is a wall. It's 4 for a 0-8 wall that once a draft goes to 5 power. Is that playable? I don't think so. I don't think you're gonna be able to play that very often. And like even if you based your deck around it, you got this first pick, you're like, you know, I'm gonna pick a bunch of high cost sorceries and instants. You still gotta fucking you gotta find this card. These cards are rare. You're only gonna get it once. Yeah, I suppose it does have synergy with mentors. Maybe if you can mentor it up, yep, maybe it's good enough in a white-red deck that mentors it up. That could be fair. You're gonna attack with it. No one's ever gonna kill it. It's gonna take a while to grow. And for a 4-drop, that's quite an investment, but it can block. Yeah, I guess it would be synergetically okay. Still not amazing though. I mean, there's a 1-9 amazing. How about a 3-11? Is that amazing? I think by the time we're talking amazing, we're talking like 4-12 or 5-13 before it starts getting good as a trampler. Doesn't look very good to me. Experimental Frenzy. 4 for an enchantment. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may play the top card of your library. You can't play cards from your hand. Card's good, I think. That's weird. So, okay, you play it. So you mostly dump your hand. Or your hand's mediocre. You play it. Anytime you want, you can play a top card of your library. If you don't want to play it, you just draw it. And then you can play the next one. What a weird card. I wonder if there's any other effects that synergize with that. Like, wasn't there the one dude that lets you dump your hand? The book monster or whatever, but then you wouldn't be able to play it? I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand enough of this card. I mean, I understand what it's doing, but I'm trying to imagine what that looks like compared to a regular. So, regular game, you draw a card. You can play that card. This card, you play it for 4. You draw a card. You can't play the card you drew. But if you get a card you want, it's basically card selection. It's like slight card selection, but it fucks with your tempo. Or fucks with your ability to choose arbitrarily, or choose, excuse me, all these words that are coming to mind that are not what you want. Fucks with your ability to play your cards when you want to play them. You're forced to make the decision, is this card I want to play now, or is this a card I don't want to play again for a while? Does synergize with Jumpstart, that's true. I'd want to play with it. I suspect it's not going to be super strong. As I think about it, I don't think it's going to be super strong. It might make for some interesting interactions. Maybe you can build some cool decks with it. I bet you it could be something cool and constructed, but yeah, it's interesting. The more I think about this, the less good I think it's going to be for limited. It might be fun though. I want to try it. I don't know. This card is the first card that I've like stumbled upon where I'm like, I have no idea. This card right here. So this one, I'm just going to put my rating on this one is question mark. So I have no idea. I suspect not, but my rating is question mark. All right, Fearless Halberdier, 3 for a 3/2. It's a body. That's all I can say about this card. It's a body. It's a human warrior. Let's hope there's human warrior synergies for this card. Fire Urchin, 2 for a 1/3 trample. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, it gets +/+0. It's fine. 1/3s, I like 1/3 stats. I don't know if 1/3s are going to be good enough in this set. But the fact this is a you can trigger this with combat tricks and other instants seems good. The trample is totally irrelevant, I think. But I think this could be fun. I think the card could be decent. Goblin Banneret, 1 for a 1/1 mentor. It gets +2/+. This card's good. This is a 1/1 that does stuff. For 3, you can make it so your 2/2 gets +1/+1. Like, your opponents are not going to want to trade with it. It's going to trade up. It's going to cost you mana to do it. I think Goblin Banneret's totally playable. I think that card is decent as hell. All right. Goblin Crater Maker. 2 for a 2/2. Sacrifice it. Choose one. Deals 2 damage to target creature. Destroy target colorless non-land permanent. I think that card's totally playable as well. It's a grizzly bear that does better things. Sometimes it will kill a creature. You don't have to sacrifice it, or rather, you don't have to tap it to do it. So you can do this after attacking. You can do this mid-combat. And you can kill artifacts with it. Card seems good. Goblin Locksmith. 2 for a 2/1. When it attacks with creatures with defender can't block. This card's bad. Don't ever draft that card. Gravitic Punch. 4 for a sorcery. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target player. Huh. That card was bad until you read Jumpstart, and then it's actually decent. So it's a very expensive thud that doesn't kill your creature. It's a lava axe you can use twice. It's going to be so annoying when I die to that card. It's going to be so annoying. I think that card's going to see play because it's a finisher. It's a reach for an aggro style deck, and it's double reach. I think that card's probably good enough to see play. I think we'll see too much of that. I think I'll be seeing way too much of this card. All right, Hellkite Whelp. 5 for a 3/3 flyer. When it attacks, deals 1 damage target creature defending player controls. It's good. 1 damage target card creature defending player controls is a fucking annoying ability. I don't know when that is declared though, chat. When does this declared? So when it attacks, so this is before blockers. So you got to predict your opponent's blocks and then ping accordingly. I still think that's good though. 5 for a 3/3 flyer. Those stats aren't terrible. I mean, I'm paying 5 right now for a 3/2 flyer who mills me. So 5 for a 3/3 flyer as red too. Red's often missing flyers, so you get some evasive creatures here to help finish it up. That fucks with their blocking. I think the card's good. Inescapable Blaze. 6. The spell can't be countered. Deals 6 damage to any target. That card's good. 6 is expensive, but it is a lava axe that can be used against creatures. It's very slow is the only big issue. It can't be countered. It's probably not going to be relevant too many times in limited, but it's probably going to be pretty relevant in constructed. I think Inescapable Blaze is probably decent. Slow, but decent. Lava Coil. 2. Deals 4 damage to target creature. If the creature would die this turn, exile instead. That card's great. It is sorcery, unfortunately, but 4 damage is pretty big in this format, it looks like to me. So I think 4 damage for 2 is pretty solid. Legion Warboss. 3 for 2/2. Mentor. Whenever this creature attacks, put a +1/+1 counter. You can give combat on your turn. Create a 1/1 goblin counter. Counter gains haste in turn attacks. Yep, card's good. Legion Warboss. If there's like run amok in this format, if there are power boosting combat effects that allow Mentor to affect everything else you can do, then Mentor is going to be nuts. I haven't seen him yet, but I don't know if it's just going to be this set or not. There's got to be combat tricks somewhere. We've seen a couple like minus stuff. I think the Legion Warboss is pretty good. I mean, it is a rare. All right, Maniacal Rage. Chanted creature gets +2/+2 and can't block. That seems very mediocre. Dub. I compare everything to Dub and Frenzied Rage, and that seems worse than Frenzied Rage and worse than Dub to me. So that does not seem very good to me. I guess with Mentors, +2 power is maybe one of the few ways you can do that. Maybe it will see play in heavy Mentor decks so you can Mentor everything, in which case it's going to be fucking annoying. Let's hope there's enough instant speed removal we can punish people for playing bad cards. Maximize Velocity. Target creature gets +1/+1 and gains haste until end of turn. Jumpstart. Nope. Well, Jumpstart on that. The fact it's not instant speed makes that really weak. So you're not going to use that as a combat trick. You're going to use that when you have 1 red mana basically to get that into your graveyard so you can use it again a little bit later. Like in the very... I don't think that card's good enough to play. I think that card's bad. Like I'm thinking about it like, what do you want to do with this? You want to tempo out your big guys. Well, you can't because it's +1. So you're not tempoing out your big guys. This is in case you are you're to the point in the late game where you're top decking and you top deck a big creature. And at no point prior to that was the +1/+1 relevant for attacking into a board you couldn't attack into before. This card's bad. Don't play that card. Ornery Goblin. 2 for a 2/1. When it blocks or becomes blocked by a creature, it deals 1 damage to that creature. So it's a 3/1 if something blocks it for 2. I don't even think I play 3/1s for fucking 2 right now. How is this exciting? This is a worse 3/1. This is a 3/1 that doesn't do damage to face. I guess it can get mentored easier. That's the benefit of that. That's the advantage of being a 2/1 that does 1 as opposed to a 3/1. Yeah. All right, so it's mentor synergy again. Have mentors or don't play that card. And I guess that's true. It kills one toughness creatures outright instead of trading. Okay. All right. Situational then. Doesn't seem very strong on first pass, but it has synergies that a 3/1 wouldn't. All right. Risk factor. 3 for a 1 red, 2 others for an instant. Target opponent may have risk factor deal 4 damage to them. If that target doesn't, you draw 3 cards and jumpstart. That card's good. Yeah, the card's quite good. In fact, it's going to do 8 damage to them or they gain 6 cards. Both of those are super bad options for you as a player on the receiving end of that. Sucks. Rubble Belt Boar. 4 for 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, target creature gains +2/+0 to end of turn. I think that's fine. I don't think 4 for 3/3 are bad stats. And red being generally an aggressive deck, giving a creature +2/+0 is often going to be something you can attack with that you weren't able to attack with before. That's probably trading up. It's good for mentoring. I think that card's pretty solid. I think you're going to see this as one of the 4 drops, common 4 drops for red cards. Risk factor will mostly be 4 damage. Not that exciting. No, it won't. It's got Jumpstart. It will mostly be 8 damage or 4 damage and 3 cards for 6 mana, which is pretty damn exciting, both of them. I think that card's really good. Runaway Steamkin. 2 for a 1/1. Whenever you cast a red spell, if Runaway Steamkin has fewer than 3 +1/+1 counters on it, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Remove 3 +1/+1 counters from it and adds 3. Card's good. 2 for a 1/1's a little bit steep, but it's always going to be growing. You can leave it to grow, and sometimes it gives you mana. I think that card's fine. I think it's going to be cool. It's kind of a cool card. I'm not sure it's super high power, but I think it's just fine, and I think it's kind of cool. Smelt Ward Minotaur. 3 for a 2/3. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, target creature an opponent controls can't block this turn. Card's nuts. 3 for a 2/3 is not particularly exciting, but it has low power and high toughness, so it's going to get mentored quite a bit. Revealing an opponent's ability to block is really, really strong. And especially in an aggro-oriented deck. And instants and sorceries are not super common and limited. You're not going to see a million of them all the time, but you will see a fair number, enough to use that regularly. I think that's pretty solid. Yeah, you can mentor that to get counters on it faster. Good point. It doesn't say how you have to, which type of 1/1 counters. You just, any 1/1 counter is good enough to remove from that. Yep, as I said, I think the card's fine. Maybe even better than I initially thought with the mentoring. It's hard to remember the mentoring every time I look at these cards, but that's going to be a lot of the synergies, right? 5 for a Street Riot. What does it do? As long as it's your turn, creatures you control +1/+0 of trample. What a fuck you card. What a win more card. On 5 mana, you better be ahead on the board. This is just going to be one of these cards that makes it impossible for your opponent to stabilize. It's often a dead card in your hand. If you're ever on the defense, it's a dead fucking card. It's just those games where you've gone first, you've had a good draw, and your opponent's desperately trying to stabilize, and you're just like, Street Riot, all my creatures have trample, no more chump blocks for you. Card seems bad, but it's going to be one of those cards that infuriates me when it's played against me. So, I think it's bad. Sure Strike. I love Sure Strike. This combat trick's amazing. Okay, I haven't seen many combat tricks in this set yet, but Sure Strike's a good one. 3/0 on first strike is nuts as a combat trick goes. It almost always kills the opposing creature, prevents things like lifelink a lot of the times, prevents things like death touch. It's going to have synergies with mentoring. Card seems really solid in this draft, and I haven't seen a lot of combat tricks. So I think Sure Strike's going to be pretty damn good. Torch Courier. 1/1 haste. Seems bad. It's like a really bad motivator. Yeah, I don't like that card. Wojak Bodyguard. 3 for a 3/3 mentor. Can't attack or block alone. Turns out most of the time when you mentor, you don't want to attack or block alone. I think this card is good. 3 for a 3/3 with mentoring is pretty damn good body. All right, that's red. Let's take a quick drink of water, quick break, and we'll do green. Yeah, 3/3 mentor is really survivable. Okay,